Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with an Aberrant Spectres guide for old school RuneScape in my endless grind to try and make as many Slayer guides as possible. So hopefully you guys enjoy. If you do, make sure to leave a like. Any other links you'd like to check out to support the channel as well can be found down below, and I'd greatly appreciate it. But beyond that, we are going to get into the guide right now. So to start, should you kill Aberrant Spectres? In my opinion, you should. However, some high tier players might not find it reasonable to do so. For most people, it is going to be decent XP, and also for everyone, it will be a profitable task, basically no matter how you decide to go about it. So for those two reasons, I think it is very good, especially at low and mid level for Slayers. However, for the very high level people, if you're looking for XP, this probably won't be the place to go, but for a majority, I do think so. As far as the requirements, you're going to need 60 Slayer to be able to kill them. By then, you should really have 60 in attack and strength, but if not, you do need some decent levels to be able to make this task a little easier. And then, beyond that, 37 prayer is really good for people early on so that they don't have to deal with any damage. If you don't mind dealing with the damage and people later on, it'll be more beneficial to go there with just high magic boosting defense. So a high mage level and a high defense level are the two attributes to that, along with your gear setup. Depends how you want to come here. If you want to come here with mage defense, then you'll need that, or you can come here and pray instead. In terms of the Spectres themselves, they are essentially weak to everything, so you can use whatever you want when you are going to be attacking here. Their attack style is magic based, so just pray mage or have the magic defensive gear like we were talking about before, and their max hit can be an 11, so it is actually pretty high. Again, that's kind of why you want to have that magic defense, because they can hit a good bit if you are quite low. In terms of what to expect drop-wise, there is a 1 in 82 chance of a Konar key, a 1 in 128 chance of a hard clue, and also 2.2k GP per kill is how much is dropped. You'll probably only pick up, maybe a little less at like 2k GP a kill, but there are a lot of herbs and alcohols that make this really worthwhile. In terms of the melee gear, there are 3 different setups on the screen now. On the left-hand side, that one is kind of the lower level setup that you could start off coming here with. There, you'll notice a nose peg for the helmet slot. You're going to need that whenever killing Aberrant Spectres in some form. In the other 2 gear setups, you'll see that is a Slayer helm instead, so you just are going to need that all the time, or else they are going to drain your stats and absolutely tear you. So there's just no way around that. That's what you need. And all these setups have proselyte or initiate gear, while there are other setups that we have over here that can contain just black d'hide, carols, whatever type of mage defensive gear you're going to need. I wouldn't really recommend Armadillo. It is the best technically defensively, but it will negate some of your attacking stats, so that's why I avoid that. But overall, use whatever weapons you'd like. The example weapons that I use are just kind of what I think most people are going to be using at those gear setups, but beyond that, it really is just up to you. I wouldn't really sell or buy any new weapons just for this task. Just go with whatever is going to get you the XP in the skill that you desire to get it in. The rates that you can expect, if you're in the 70s of your combats, you can expect about 17k Slayer XP per hour. If you're in the 85s range, you can expect 20k Slayer XP per hour, and max melee can expect about 24k. If you add piety to the max melee setup, that gets up to 28k XP per hour, and ultimately you can times all of these numbers by 4 if you want the XP per hour in whatever skill you are training, attack, strength, defense, whatever it be. And if you want the GP per hour that you can expect back in drops, multiply any of these numbers by 30. Here it'll range from 400k to 900k. That's in loot that you're getting back. It's not accounting for however you are going to be spending money, whether or not you're buying sharks or if you're buying prayer pots. It is going to depend on how you do this, what your profit is, but overall they do drop a good bit, so you can make it profitable if you would like. And then I'll add this real quick. I do cover Deviant Spectres in this video, but I will say I'm not a fan of them. They have extremely high defense, and they're really only useful for Ironmen that want Limpwort roots, or if you just have a Konar task that is there. I would personally avoid them at all costs, but that's just me. As far as the inventory, I have a spec weapon in the Dragon Dagger, some cannonballs. You don't have to bring a cannon, but you can if you'd like. I have house teleports just for a nice teleport to a place where I can re-heal and kind of various teleports elsewhere. It's a nice little filtering location for the rest of my activities, and a Slayer ring to get back to my master. In addition to that, I also have a couple super combat potions and an herb sack and a rune pouch. You don't really need the herb sack and rune pouch, however they are nice to bring alks or store herbs, which you will be getting a ton of. Beyond that, I have the cannon and some prayer potions as well, along with the Xeric's talisman to show where the Deviant Spectres are. If you're going to be bringing food, swap out whatever you don't need with that and just make sure to bring as much as possible. You probably won't need the herb sack, you probably won't need a rune pouch because you're going to need as much food as you can. So with that said, the two main locations that I would say, the first one is going to be in the Troll Stronghold Slayer Cave. I think that's where a lot of people will be going. In terms of how to get here, if you have a Slayer ring, feel free to just come the way that I just did. Beyond that, make sure to use the tree teleport over here, and that's how you get here. I mean, you have to use that tree teleport for all the quests and whatnot, so you probably know where that's at. If not, it is just right northeast of the Grand Exchange. Is a really easy tree location to get to. So once you make it on over to Neve or Steve, you can find your way on into the cave, and from there you're just going to want to kind of run to the south and then go a little bit to the east. I'm personally just going to run on through this tunnel because I have the agility level. If not, it's really just a short walk right over there. It's not too far. But personally, I will be using a cannon, and Runelight has a nice little cannon spot down here. There's not too many Aberrant Spectres in each room, so you're not going to be getting an absolute ton of XP per hour because, I mean, the cannon can only do so much. There's not a ton around, so they're not constantly aggroing you by any means, so that's why the rates are a little lower here. You wouldn't really expect it, but at the same time, when there's so few of them and they don't really venture too far to attack, you're kind of relying on your cannon or yourself to do a lot of the work and dragging them over and actually allowing them to kind of get in combat. This also isn't multi. There's no way to kill them in multi, so you can never really get the added XP per hour in Slayer that I guess meta Slayer people would like. But still, like you see here, got a little ear drop right there. In a Ruby, already like 2k in drops, and you don't have to pick up everything. Personally, anything over like 500 GP or so I'd be picking up, but depending on your standard of what you want to pick up, that's up to you. You still need to worry about inventory space. I know a lot of people like to pick up everything, but at the end of the day, if you have to bank and run back, I mean, that's all time that you could be doing other stuff. So it's not just free money. That's not how that works. So you do have to have some standards, even if you don't want to. But that is the cannonable spot. As far as the other spot that is not cannonable that I would view people going towards also is in the Slayer Tower in Mauritania. Again, a Slayer Ring teleport can get you here. If not, there is a Salve Graveyard teleport, a Fairy Ring. You can also use the Kirill teleport in your house or someone else's house if you have it in there. And finally, a Frankenstein Castle teleport or an Ectophile. There are tons of ways to get here. However you find your way here, you're going to want to make your way on over to the staircase on the opposite side of the wall. So you're going to have to run all the way around, or if you have the agility level, again, you can just go right up top here. As far as what the agility level needed is, it's 61. As we can see, you can boost from 56 with a Summer Pie if you have those as well. But beyond that, as long as you got a nose peg and protection from prayer, you should be good. And up here, there's quite a lot of them. They're kind of jam-packed, a little bit more so than in the Stronghold Slayer caves. However, here, you don't have the option for the cannon, so kind of is the downside. If you have the Mauritania diaries done, you can get added Slayer XP from every single kill. It ranges from 2.5% to 10% depending on how far in the diary you are, so that's kind of one of the side benefits of this. And then the final place you could kill Spectres would be the Deviant Spectres in the Catacombs of Kourend. As far as how to get here, if you have the best unlock, that is the Xeric's Heart, you can just teleport here through the Xeric's Talisman. There's also a teleport on the regular spellbook, along with some memoirs that you could teleport with there, a house tele down here, or you can just do it the good old-fashioned way and travel here through the Draenor Port Sarim area. But beyond that, once you find your way on over to the statue, you're just going to want to go on in and run to the south. You'll see some ghosts along with some hill giants to the south, and then beyond that, there is a little crack that you can just go ahead and squeeze on through. Again, down here, I mean, you cannot use a cannon, so that isn't possible. Personally, like I said earlier, I don't really recommend anyone come here to kill these Deviant Spectres, because I just don't think they're worth it. But if you have to come here for a task of Konar, or maybe you just want some Limpwort seeds, or you're just mixing it up, it is something you can do. They don't really have any added drops. I mean, they have like a battle staff that you get pretty often that you don't get from the normal table, but the added defense that these things have just is not worth the very minimal increase in drops that you could be getting. I know right now it looks like I tear through them. I don't know why, but that normally isn't the case. The only time I've actually come here for a purpose beyond just being sent here by Konar is when I was using a twisted bow and AFKing here with like a max setup. It was very strange. It got me like a passive 80k an hour XP, and it didn't really cost too much. So I think that's really the only utility that this place has towards like max mains, I guess. And even then, like there are so many other ways you could be training your range. It's just for mega AFK, I guess. But beyond that, it is a very bad task in my opinion. Deviant Spectres are terrible, and I am not a fan, but that's just me. As for this video, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you want to tell me, anything you want to see from me, let me know in a comment down below. And on top of that, if you want to see more videos like this as soon as they go live, make sure to subscribe. And with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.